call this kind of the third downtownish area of Windsor. We've got some new development there at Eye Doctor. We've got a wonderful Chinese restaurant that we go to, Tim Hortons, a bar, Big Ben Clock Shop, all of that here in what I call this is new Riverside, because once we get beyond Lausanne Road, all of the houses are newer construction, and there's something specific that I'm going to go into for us here as we go and look at Riverside. This is Lausanne Road. It's a little confusing because there's Lausanne Line, there's Little Lausanne Line, there's all kinds of Lausannes. One of the weird things about the city of Windsor is when they were naming roads, they weren't very creative. And they have Talbot Road Line, Talbot Road West, Talbot Road South, Talbot Road East, and it becomes all confusing. Trust me, as a truck driver, it was one of those things I had no clue where I'm at. But as I got to know Windsor a little bit more, and I've lived here for 26 years, you kind of get to know your way around. There is a couple of wonderful things going on here in Riverside. Riverside schools are phenomenal, and that's why families like to come to Riverside. There are some new buildings as well too, where you can buy units for about $500,000. Two-bedroom condo units. There's some apartment complexes as well too. But we're going to turn here off of Lausanne. We're going to go into Little River Acres, and I'm doing this specifically for my lower-priced clients who may have children, may want some great school districts, and may not have that much of a budget to spend on a house in the city of Windsor. And I'm going to show you a neighborhood specifically that's in Riverside, that's inexpensive, and it still has all of the great schools. So, and that's just right down here. Just bear with me as we get there. There goes Travis's sign. He's a pretty good guy. He's a fellow realtor here in the city of Windsor. His sign's been out here in Riverside a little bit more often, so he's definitely doing some targeting here in Riverside. And I have a listing coming up in Walkerville, South Walkerville actually. Not Walkerville, but South Walkerville. On another listing over on the other side of town, South Windsor. It'll be coming up here soon as well too. But as we get into Little River Acres, there's going to be a specific road that I'm going to take you down, but this is the main way through Little River Acres. You'll notice the fences aren't exactly the prettiest thing to see in the world. These houses are kind of zero lot line houses. They have very small lots, but very small lots mean very low taxes as well too. The taxes are like $1,000 a year at most, which makes these houses also very affordable. Some of these houses are very, very nice, and some of them are not very nice at all. But it's a great neighborhood from the concept of, if I don't have very much money and I want to move to Windsor for the wonderful weather, the weather here today is just stunningly beautiful. I don't even want to work today, the weather is this nice. But I just need to find the road, and I sold the house down. I think it was down there actually. Yeah, I think it was down there. No, I think it's down here. We'll find it. Sooner or later, we'll just drive around. But let me show you, so here is a listing that's not very good. It's probably been in a rental portfolio for a very long time. It has a storage unit that doesn't meet code between the two houses there, so that would have to be torn out probably. The house has trees growing up in its gutters, and I've already talked to you about gutters and how important they are. This is still connected to the downspout going into the weeping tile, which is not allowed in the city of Windsor. That's illegal too. You also notice that it doesn't have any soffit around the top. Okay, it's been in a rental portfolio. It's a pretty sad house. But that house is probably about $255,000, $260,000. And then let me show you down here the house that I've got that's closing on Friday. Nope, I'm on the wrong road. Sorry about that. I am on the wrong road. I sold a house here that closes on Friday for $385,000 that has been completely remodeled, top to bottom. Has a basement kitchen, a brand new kitchen on the main floor, brand new appliances, brand new everything, done very well. And that I was able to get done. There was an offer on it for $430 that fell apart, and I was able to step in with my client and get the house for $385,000. It closes next Friday. They're tickled to death. They're moving in from the Toronto area. They're tickled to death to be able to get a house in the city of Windsor. And it's kind of like this one here. It's the same model as this one here in front of me, and almost as nice as well too. Stunningly beautiful, $385,000. All updated, all the current modern electrical, all of that's all done. Beautiful. Roof's done, just deck's done. This deck is a little bit worse, but deck's done on the house that closes next Friday as well too. So this is Little River Acres, and it's a different place for people to live. Everybody here knows each other's name, and they all watch out for each other. But it is a little bit of a different type of neighborhood for people to live in. Because the houses are closer together, and you have smaller lots. And some of the houses are in pretty bad disrepair. But other houses are stunningly beautiful. And especially on the inside. They're nice on the outside, but you get inside and they're just stunningly beautiful. I gotta get out of the way of this guy, and there we go. The roads are a little narrow, especially with all the parking going on and all that stuff too. So. But that's it for Little River Acres. Part of the reason that Little River Acres is so popular as well too is it's Riverside Schools. It's David Suzuki Schools and it's George P. Vanier Schools, which is where everybody wants their kids to go in Riverside. It's just the teachers, the grades, the reviews are phenomenal. And being married to a teacher in Riverside, I can tell you that, yeah, the schools are awesome. I know all the teachers in Riverside, at least at George P. Vanier. And yeah, it's definitely a great place to take your kids for French, not French immersion, full French, elementary school. And now we're going to go, I'm going to keep this video going because I'm going to go and I'm going to turn left here. I'm going to be leaving Little River Acres with its trees and its fences and stuff. And I'm going to be turning left here to go out of Little River Acres onto McDougall, which is where the sports arena is, or the WFCU center is. Part of the reason that Little River Acres has gone up in price as well too is right across the street now we have this brand new development, which is $1.4 million houses that they're building here on all of this land, as you can see in front of me. About 1.4 gets you one of these houses. They're brand new, stunningly beautiful on the inside. Of course, that doesn't include the finishes outside the driveway. It doesn't include the porch, the balcony, or any of that other stuff. You got to do all of that as well too for yourself. But then also here across the street is a great place for retirees. These are all fully rented. The first building is fully rented. They're building these brand new buildings here in the WFCU Center. The rents are, I want to say $500 or so a month. And they're full rental buildings, but they're building two more. And a lot of things what our senior citizens are doing is they're selling their houses and they're coming here into these brand new beautiful units and renting. Now you can see our WFCU Center is right here as well too. As we go out the window, that's where they play that game on ice with that little black puck that we in Canada call hockey. And then I'm going to go over the Little River, basically. That's Little River that I'm coming up and over here. And then I really kind of get into New Riverside, which is all the new development, which is where I live as well too. There's all kinds of bike paths here. It's just stunningly beautiful to be able to go out for a bike ride for hours and just cruise. You can go rollerblading, skateboarding, whatever you want to do. The paths are just beautifully stunning. And then this area here is Aspen Shore Lake, where we've got swans and some kids come down sometimes and do fishing. It's a landing strip for Canadian geese coming in and out. And that's Little River Aspen Shore Lake, and that's Aspen, the shores of Aspen Lake Park as well too. And then we're going to have some new builds come in there where the sign is. That was just announced. They just put one of the pads down, so that's coming in. But then these are all townhomes. These townhomes here are about 5 years old. They're about $800,000 roughly. There is one for sale down here. And they're about $800,000 roughly. And then some of them are $780,000, depending upon whether the basement's finished or not, depending upon how much landscaping and the finishes and stuff. But they are stunningly beautiful. They're about 1,580 square feet. And then this is Aspen Shore, where we've got all the path you can go, and they just laid a new path as well too. This is again townhome community. This is the community that I live in. There is a unit here that's for sale, and that's why I wanted to finish up this video here. If you're looking for a waterfront property that's not on the lake, where you have all the worry of lakefront flooding and everything, this unit just came for sale. It's listed for $850,000. It had sold about a month and a half ago for $870,000 actually. And they were gonna rent it because they were gonna move into it later on in life. But then they decided, but something else happened, whatever, and they decided they needed to sell it again. So they put it back up to the market for $850,000. That's $849,900. It's waterfront. There's water behind it. There's tons of backyard to it as well too. The deeded backyard to protect you in that area is fenced off. If you're looking for a stunning townhome, this is about 1,450 square feet roughly. Might be just a touch more than that. Done really well. The basement isn't finished, and that's why $850,000 is a little steep for it, because the basement isn't finished compared to others that have sold down the road for $850,000 that have finished basements. I don't think this is going to do $850,000. I believe that this is probably about $820,000, $825,000, and that way you have the $25,000 to be able to go and finish your basement as well too. Of course, I've got a contractor that can do it for you. But stunningly beautiful townhome. If you're looking for, or know anybody looking for a stunningly beautiful waterfront townhome to be able to enjoy the waterfront here on Aspen Shore. And then of course on Aspen Shore too is, and they're always sitting out doing different things. The neighbors are out there having wine today and stuff. But then as we go down the road here, the poor people side of the road is a little different side of the road. That's the side that I live on. It's just a quiet neighborhood. It's fun. The neighbors are seeing me driving by, shooting the video, and they're waving at me. But it's just a fun neighborhood to live. You can see when we get down towards my house, there's more cars on the road. Just because we've got 3 cars and so many other people have extra cars around us now too, because we set the trend for cars. But this is my house, and this will be the end of this video for Riverside. If you're thinking about Riverside, it's a great place to call home. If you're thinking about Windsor, the weather here is just totally impeccable today. It is still 19 degrees. We've got dinner reservations for tonight at Bourbon, which is a brand new restaurant in Tecumseh. Gonna go and have dinner there tonight with my mother-in-law and go enjoy it. I hope that you go enjoy whatever you're doing today too. Thanks for tuning in. This is Brian, a Riverside specialist in real estate, financial advisor, and market directional shift kind of guy, as you're learning a little bit more about me. But thanks for watching. I truly enjoy shooting these videos. They're a lot of fun. Hope you enjoy your day. Have a great day. If I can help in any way, 519-995-6145. Bye-bye.